Welcome to another TechHelp video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. Today we're going to have a little fun. We're going to build an interactive real-time Eclipse timer in Microsoft Access. Now, if you're like me, you're excited about the 2024 Eclipse coming up just next week. It's currently, March 31st, 2024. So we got about a week left, and I personally am traveling from Florida to Dallas, Texas to watch this myself. It'll be my first total Eclipse. I missed the one that came through Florida back in 2017. And so I thought, hey, why not? Let's have some fun. Let's build a little Eclipse timer. Right, we'll do something like this. So we'll put in our location, we'll put in the time that the partial eclipse begins, totality begins, the maximum totality, when it ends and when the partial ends, right? We can put in the time to test it. Let's say here, let's put in a time of like 12:20, and then I'll go show graphic. And that's what it's going to look like at that moment, right? And then we can add a minute and watch the little moon move over the sun like that. See, that's pretty cool, huh? Right? And then if you want, you can click this button, or this checkbox, and then it'll track in real time. Although, you shouldn't be playing with your Access database during the eclipse. You should be outside watching the eclipse. And of course, make sure you use proper eye protection. Unlike a certain former president of ours, don't look at the eclipse directly unless it's in totality. Okay, get yourself some eclipse glasses or some welding glass. Right? And then totality would be what? 1340. So I'll put this at 1339. And then we'll show it. And it'll be just, oh, look at that. It's almost covered. And then we'll hit like that. And then now we're in totality. Isn't that pretty cool? See? And we'll move across a little bit like that. Keep going. And then totality ends at 1344. And there we go. And the sun starts to poke back out again. That's pretty cool, huh? Now, in order to do this, we need to know how to build circles, how to create circles in Microsoft Access. Now, I haven't done a lot with drawing circles. You can't draw circles on a form, so you have to use a report, and it has to be in print preview mode. And this isn't something that I've done a lot of because I just haven't had the need for it in my 30-some years of working with Microsoft Access. But Access does have a report circle method. And you can draw all kinds of, so you can draw circles of various locations and radii and colors and, you know, the start and end in case you want to do like pie wedges. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with circles. And I'm probably not going to spend a ton of time going over circles. I know over at msaccess Gurus, Crystal has spent a lot of time building stuff like this, so I'll put a link to her page down below. And if you want to learn more about this stuff, definitely check out her tutorials. But I'm going to give you the basics of how to draw a circle, how to make a moon, how to make a sun, and make it go over the sun. It'll be pretty cool, right? If nothing else, it'll give you a little primer to how to make shapes and circles and cool stuff using reports. All right, let's build this. All right, before we get started, though, this is a developer level video. What does that mean? Yeah, it means if you've never done any VBA programming before, go watch this video. It'll teach you everything you need to know to get started in about 20 minutes. And there's going to be some other stuff, some if-thens and some constants and some variable declarations and all that. Now, there's links for all that stuff down below. Okay, here I am in my TechHelp free template. This is a free database you can download off my website if you want to. And the first thing we're going to need is a list of times for the eclipse at your location. You can make multiple ones if you want to. Funny story, the eclipse actually goes through Buffalo, which is where I'm from, Buffalo, New York. Spent the first 40 years of my life there before moving to Florida. But I know from experience that getting clear skies in Buffalo in April, it's pretty tough, so I decided to go to Dallas. And now, of course, the long-term forecast is showing clouds over Dallas, so we'll have to see. But, okay. But anyways, point is, you can put multiple locations in the database. We'll set up a table for that. All right, so create, and then table design. And we'll make a location ID, that's my auto number, a location name, or description if you want. Remember, don't use just name. Name is a reserved word. We've got the partial begins, and this will be a date time. Remember, a date time field can store either a date or a time or both together. All right. Totality begins. We've got the maximum, which we're really not going to use it, but it's just nice to know. Totality ends. And then the partial ends. All right, save this as my location table. And let's put some data in it. All right, now where do you find this data? Well, You could just do a little Google search. I found a good page here on Astronomy Magazine's site. And just scroll down a little bit. Where's it at? It's right there, right? It's got Dallas, Texas, where I'll be. It's got Buffalo, New York, and a bunch of places in between. And I think if you scroll down, of course, advertisement. If you scroll down a little further, there's even more information on the eclipse in here. And I think I saw another chart too. Where are you at? There it is, an even bigger one. Okay? All right, so just find your spot or spots if you want to put multiple spots in there. And we'll feed that into the table, right? Dallas, Texas. Partial begins at 12:23, and I'm just putting times in here, folks. I'm not worried about seconds either. Totality begins at 1:40 p.m., so I'm going to put 13:40. Maximum is at 1:42, so 13:42. I like using 24-hour time. That's just me. Totality ends at 13:44, and the partial ends at 15:02. All right, almost 4 minutes there of the beautiful totality. I think it's like 3 minutes and 40-some seconds. That's good enough. Of course, the closer you are to the center line of the eclipse, the more totality you get. If you're close to the edge, you get less. And Dallas is pretty close. We're about halfway to the edge. All right, I will just do the 1 for now. Save changes, sure. Now, I'm going to just turn my main menu into my eclipse form. All right, so let's just design this bad boy. I'm going to open this up a little bit. I'm going to shrink this down because we're probably not going to use it. I'm going to move this down here. We can get rid of these buttons. Let's bind this form to the record source that we just created, which is location T. So now this form gets its data from that, right? We'll change this, make it say Eclipse Timer, right? And if you want to, change the color, make the background black, make it look cool. There you go. All right. So we'll bring our location over here. Okay, location. And we'll make sure we left align that. And I'm going to slide this over just a little bit because we'll need some room here in a minute. Now this is currently set to today's date. So I am going to come over here and we're going to go to the Alt tab, get rid of this control source that says date, and we'll put in here the location name. I'm going to copy and paste that over the current date and then get rid of that short date format. And that should be good enough for that. Now we need our other fields. All right, so copy, paste. This will be, the first field is what? Partial begins. We're going to come over here, make this a little bit smaller. We don't need that to be quite that big. Let's change this to partial begins, copy, paste, and the format here is going to be short time. Where are you? Short time, just like that. Okay, or you can go NN:SS, or excuse me, HH:NN. Remember, N for minutes, folks, because M is already month. And if you do that, Access will switch it to short time on you. So, okay. If you are being super nerdy and you want seconds, great. You can put seconds in here, but my code isn't going to take seconds into consideration, just minutes. I'm not getting super duper nerdy with this one. All right, copy, paste, 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 paste. Slide these up just a little bit like that. Nope, too far. Come on. There. Right. There you go. I like to select everything, right click, I go size to grid, and then right click and then align to grid. Make sure everybody's lined up nicely. And you can see how sometimes you get little skippers in there. See how this one got too big? Another one of my pet peeves, one of my annoyances. Sam, you can add that one to the list. I think it's already on the list. We're keeping a list of stuff for the Access team. All right, partial begins. What's next? Totality begins. And I can't spell today. Totality begins. And this will be maximum. This will be totality ends. And this will be the partial ends. And then we just got to change our sources over here and our names. So totality begins, copy, paste, maximum, copy, paste, partial begins, partial end, or totality ends, and then partial end. All right, copy, paste. Save it. And I also want one over here. Let's make another one of these. Copy, paste. I also want another one we'll put over here that has the current time in it. Okay, current time. Current time. And that's so we can simulate what it's going to look like at a particular time. Okay, and we'll change this guy. We'll take the control source and get that out of there. We'll call it current time. And I'm going to set the default value equals partial begins. So when the form opens up, this will start at partial begins, but we can change it. And while we're at it, let's make some buttons so we can manipulate that. All right, so I'm just going to copy this button we got down here. I'm going to put a plus in here. All right, make it nice and small like this. And I'll change the size here to 9. Let's call this guy add minute button. And I'll put it right there. And what's this going to do? We're going to add 1 minute to whatever's in there, right? Right click, build event. And we're right here, add minute, button click. We can get rid of this other code that we don't need. We got rid of these buttons here, so we can just get rid of that stuff. Okay, so in here, we're going to add a minute to the current time. So current time equals current, or excuse me, date add. We're going to use the date add function. If you're not familiar with the date add function, I'll put a link to my tutorial for it down below. We're going to add a minute. So it's n for minute, comma 1, comma, to the current time value. So add a minute to current time. And then we'll do the same thing with a subtract button. Copy, paste, slide you here. Put a little minus sign in there. That's the add minute button. We'll call this subtract minute button. Or just sub minute button, whatever you want to call it. Right click, build event. And then same thing. We got some extra spaces in here to get rid of. We'll copy that, paste it there, and just change the 1 to a -1. Save it. Always throw in a debug compile from time to time. Come over here, close that. Let's open her up. I got a button up here on my quick launch toolbar. It just literally opens up main menu F. And there it is. So there's Dallas, Texas. There's our times. Here's our current time, which defaults to partial begins. And then we'll hit the little button here to go plus a minute and then minus a minute. Okay, so we got our form all set up. We got our data all set up. Now we have to build our circles. Now, like I said earlier, you can't draw circles on forms. That's a shame. It would be really cool if you could. Circle controls only exist on reports, and they have to be in print preview mode. Here's my demo database that I built earlier, and you can see here's my report. It's going to look just like this. We're going to open up a report. We're going to have the little moon and the sun. The sun will sit in the middle. The moon's going to move across it, and we'll draw these on the report based on the time. And we're going to do that in tomorrow's video. So tune in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Or members, you're going to watch it right now because I'm going to record the whole thing today. So yeah, there you go. That's another benefit of being a member. But that's going to be your Tech Help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow for part 2. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my Tech Help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the Tech Help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut Tech Help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my Tech Help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any Tech Help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for Tech Help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.